Welcome to Cocktails Over Coffee, a podcast that spotlights truly inspiring individuals that have taken a leap of faith and given up their corporate careers, otherwise known as their coffee, and pursued their passion, otherwise known as their cocktail. I'm Janae Green, and I am so excited to be here today with Jovel to tell me all about his inspiring career that he has built for himself.
Yes.
But we're going to start from the beginning here.
All right, where are we going?
Cheers.
Cheers.
We are having Jovel's drink of choice, which is, what's your drink of choice? Tell us.
So this is a Maker's Mark Old Fashioned. It's, we'll say it's my seasonal drink of choice. I've been into this for the past few weeks, and it's simple, it's clean,
It's delicious.
classic. Good.
Okay, so we're going to start from the beginning here.
Okay.
Tell me what your coffee was.
My coffee was, so I had a few coffees over the years. So when I moved to New York from school, I worked on the buying team at Macy's.com. So I started on the fragrances buying team, and it was cool. It was different, and in all honesty, I moved here not really knowing what a buying team was.
Really?
Honestly.
Wait, I'm sorry, how did you get on a buying team?
Okay, so this is what happened. So when I was in school,
Yeah.
I was vice president of the marketing association at my school.
Okay.
And so I worked with the recruiter from Macy's that would come.
Mm-hmm.
And he called me one day and he was like, "Hey, Jovel, would you be interested in working at Macy's.com?" And I was like, "Yeah, because I don't have anything else."
You're like, wait, yeah.
Right, I was
money.
like, yeah, no, and I heard that, because Kenneth, you know Kenneth,
Yeah.
he had interned there the summer before.
Right.
So I knew that their jobs paid well. So
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, sure, I'd be interested. Like, let me know.
Right.
So he bumped me into the second round of interviews. I skipped the first round, and he was like, yeah, so we'll just fly you out to New York because I know who you are. Like, I know your work ethic. I know
Right.
your resume for the most part. So just come and see how you like this, and we'll see what's up.
Amazing.
And so I went out there. The interview was great because it was all more like marketing stuff. So it's just like,
Right.
and I was a marketing major, so it's like for the most part,
it was perfect. It was a perfect fit.
yeah. And then it was just me actually figuring out what my job was going to be.
Because you didn't know what buying was before.
Well, I mean, I kind of had an idea, but I'm lying. I didn't have an idea. So I got out there,
That is
and
mind-boggling to me.
no, and it's really crazy. So
Yeah.
it says something about Macy's recruiting, but whatever.
Yeah.
So I got there, and thankfully I landed on the perfect team for me. It was the fragrances team, which of all of Macy's brands, of all of Macy's departments, they have the most familiar. They had the most familiar brands for me because obviously Dolce & Gabbana,
Right.
Gucci, like brands that I was familiar with as a fashion kid in college.
Yeah.
I kind of had a connection to it, so it made the job a little bit more close to home.
Yeah. Okay.
So I kind of learned it. I was terrible at it. I'll just say it. I was terrible at my job. Like,
At buying?
Yeah. Sorry, the orange pills are coming out. Yeah. Yeah.
I find that hard to believe.
But you know, and it's kind of hard to admit, but I'll say, like, I liked the job, but it wasn't for me. Like, I'm not that bored.
What I will say is that buying is not as sexy as everyone thinks it is. I think everyone thought that buying was like shopping all the time and all this stuff, but like you're doing a lot of like work in Excel for a lot of the day.
And with my job specifically, so I was a merchandise assistant on the buying team. So it was like, obviously, the entry level.
A lot of that plugging in. And
yeah, but I just wasn't. I'm not even gonna harp on it.
You weren't invested, and that's maybe...
The thing is, I invested myself.
Okay.
Because I tried so hard. I would stay at that job later than everyone else. I'd be the last one off because I got to a point where I realized you're in a weird position.
Yeah.
You're doing something that you're not good at. Mm-hmm. And I don't say that to sound pompous because
Right.
I just mean like usually if I'm doing something, I get myself to a place to where I feel like I'm good at it.
Yeah.
I was doing it and I felt like I'm constantly not good at it. Mm-hmm. So I would stay late. I would come early. I would like take stuff home with me. I would really try my best to be the best that I could be, and it just wasn't happening. So there's that. So after that, thankfully my manager, Essie, I love her so much. Mm-hmm. She was like, "Hey, so there's a job on the creative team." There's a job on the creative team that I think
like, please.
Exactly, because the thing is, like, in all of my jobs, like what I did outside of work, the blogging and Instagram and all that, that's always been in my mind my main job.
Yes.
So these have always been side jobs, even though they pay the bills. Mm-hmm. They've been side jobs to me mentally.
Right.
So Essie was like, "Hey, so there's a job on the social media creative team that I think you'd be great for."
Yeah.
Because basically she's saying, so you're not going anywhere on the buying team.
Yeah.
I think let's
help
just
you.
let's move you over. Yeah. And so I interviewed, got it. So I was on the creative team for social at Macy's. Did that, and then ASOS actually interviewed me to be a brand ambassador because of what I was doing. I should probably say, for people who don't know me, I should probably say I have been blogging for the past 10 years at this point.
Yeah, give us your quick background.
Yeah, so I started on Tumblr in 2010. Started an actual blog in 2011 with Kenneth, who I mentioned earlier.
Yep. Was it the No Names?
The No Names, yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
See, there you go. She knows.
Old follower.
Right. Back when blogs were a thing.
Right.
So from there, I moved out here, started the stuff at Macy's, got Instagram, became my main focus, and now that's what I do full time. But we'll get to that in a sec. So going back to this, ASOS interviewed me to be a brand ambassador. One of their ASOS insiders, and in that interview they also offered me a job because of how I presented my portfolio and the stuff that they asked me to present.
It's huge.
It is huge, and I'm so grateful because they actually made that job for me in the US office. So it was a blessing.
Yeah, you had a really unique role at ASOS.
Yeah, so I was social media executive for the US, but I kind of managed the men's influencer relations, and so I work
You were
closely
also
with
creating
PR.
content for them, no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a
I
really
don't
cool
want to tell
job.
your story.
You tell it well. It was a really great job. So I got to, it was just like everything that I was already doing in my stuff I got to do professionally. I got to do more on my own terms. Obviously, like I had a boss that I worked with who was great.
Yeah.
But I really felt like I was in control. Like I launched our menswear account for the US.
Amazing.
Which was a huge thing, you know,
Huge,
and it was really exciting, exciting opportunity.
That launched earlier than a lot of brands that are now doing their men's and women's accounts separately.
Yeah.
ASOS was one of the earlier ones.
I feel like we were, I think Top Man had one already in. Yeah, so it was cool. It was cool to be a part of that for the US. So
awesome.
I'm really grateful for everything I got to do there. But yeah, that was my corporate. That was my coffee.
Yes.
Over the years, so I kind of changed flavors. But
that was a strong coffee.
Yeah. It was some strong coffee.
But okay, so tell us what you're drinking now. What's your cocktail?
Okay, so my cocktail now is, and I guess has been, content creation, blogging, influencer work, whatever you personally want to call it.
Yes.
So I've been in the menswear and lifestyle space for, we'll say 10 years. Like I said, I started on Tumblr in 2010. Yeah. And that just evolved.
Was that when you were still in school?
Yeah, I was still in school. Okay. Yeah, so I graduated in 2012 from Morehouse. And yeah, it's just been, God willing, it's been an upward spiral. Yeah. And I'm really grateful for it. So yeah, now I left ASOS in 2018 November. Okay. And whew, what a day, what a week, what a month.
Tell me about the leaving process. Like, what was that like? I know that the day that I resigned, I had so much anxiety. I had so much anxiety. I got up that morning. I think I meditated. I got to the office early. I got my breath. It was like a whole thing. I was so nervous. Resigning is something that makes you so nervous, but it's the most rewarding thing ever.
Yeah, because once you do it, submit that 2 weeks, it's like
right. I had my script.
The finish line. Let's get there. Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie to you, guys. I practiced what I was gonna say on my phone. I recorded it. I prepared to resign.
And see, my boss is actually out of town. But the thing is, I wanted to tell her in person, but she was out of town, and I was like...
And you had a timeline.
In my head, I was like, I know this is the last day. I can't be here past this day. Yeah. Can't do it. So I was like, I just have to email you, and then we'll talk about it when you get back. I emailed her. We talked about it when she got back.
That's fine.
It was fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
My boss was actually... it was summer Fridays that started. She wasn't in the office today. I got in early, and I emailed her assistant. I was like, when is she coming in?
Right. You got it. I was like,
hey, just checking. And she's like, oh yeah, she's not in. So the weekend went by, and then I had to do it on Monday.
Okay, yeah. So for me, I was like, I always tell this story. So my faith is a very big thing. Obviously, before we started filming, I talked multiple times about my devotional.
Yeah. Which is important because I want to talk about mental health. That's something that's
a huge part for me.
Crucial.
So yeah, we'll definitely we can definitely go into that.
Okay.
But for me, so my faith is a really big thing, and at that time, I would use, everyone uses their 30 minutes going to work to do whatever they need to do.
Yeah.
So for me, I would pray on the train. That was when I was like, I'm sitting for 20 to 30 minutes. I'm just going to pray. I'm going to get that out of the way. Yeah. Not get that up. You get what I mean by that.
Yeah.
I'm going to invest that time.
Yeah.
And so, it was such an interesting experience because I was just sitting on the train, and for the first time, I really realized I'm miserable. I'm not such a profound awareness of it. I was just like, oh wait, I'm not happy.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't feel good. I don't feel great. I'm doing too much. I'm stressed out. I'm over this right now. This isn't how we're called to live. I shouldn't be like this.
Right.
And I told myself that morning on the train, 5 minutes away from work, I said, okay, the next sign that I get, the next thing that asks me for more than I can give, because right now I'm literally at 100%.
Yeah.
The next thing that asks me for 101%, to get to 101%, that's when I'm going to know. Anything that asks me for more than what I'm giving right now, because I'm giving everything right now, that's when I have to quit. I can't do it anymore.
Did something ask you?
5 minutes later, and that's why I'm saying, like, my faith is such a big thing, because God always gives me the right signs when
He's
I
like,
get it.
actually, I'm gonna make this easy for you.
So you didn't get what I was saying on the train. I wanted you to get it, but I'm gonna make sure that you get it.
Yeah.
5 minutes later, I got to my office. And so just to give a very quick context, my old apartment had caught fire below me, but I had smoke damage, so I had to move out of that apartment.
Oh, no.
I just moved into this new place. I had been stressed out, so
it was a time. It
was a time. So I had been coming to work like maybe 30 minutes later, but our office is like 12 people. It was very chill. Like it wasn't that type of office where it mattered.
Right.
And so I was like, you know, I'm just gonna take these 30 minutes for myself in the morning because I can't get it any other time.
Yeah.
So I had been coming in around, I think maybe 10:30 versus 10, which is when I had been coming in. So after having this moment on the train, my boss, as soon as I get to work, she sits me down. We had our weekly touch base. Yeah. So it was a Thursday.
Okay.
And she was like, "Hey, Javelle, good morning. I just wanted to know if there's any way that you can come in 30 minutes earlier. I just need you here by 10. And also, I have to mind you, my boss she was the boss at the office. Like, as far as like anyone who follows all the rules and is like going to be, she'll get the gold star for her job because she's just excellent in that way. Yeah. But it was just where I was at. I was like, oh no.
You're like 30 minutes early.
So she asked me that, and literally, I do two things. I look at her, and after that moment, she actually said, "Yeah, I remember your face when I'd asked you that." Okay. So I looked at her, and my face contorted in a certain way, and I was like, and then I just stopped and I looked up because after I looked at her, I was like, "Oh wait, God, I get it." And I looked up and I just smiled and I said, "No worries, I'll be here at 10." And I went home. Actually, I went back to my desk and I was like, "Okay." And then I left my desk and I called my dad and I was like, "Dad, I'm about to quit my job. I won't do this anymore."
What'd your dad say?
My dad was like, I had already been talking to him about it, so he was like, "Okay, I trust that you're ready. I know that, just."
Did you have a plan?
The 6 years that I had been in New York up to that point had been my plan.
Okay.
So and that's one thing about me. Because the thing is, so when me and Kenneth came, we came thinking, oh, the No Names is our number one thing. Yeah. So as soon as we can leave, we're leaving.
This is gonna take off. You were focused on that. You were just doing your.
These had always been corporate jobs. Were always my side job. My side hustle was Macy's.
Your corporate job.
Exactly. Because it was just about making money. Side hustles are about making money. Yeah. About making extra money. Yeah. That's all that was. Yeah. I knew what my job was.
You're
what
putting
my passion
the real
was.
work into your passion.
And I think when you can mentally claim that as your main job. Yes. That's what your main job is. Yes. So. Up to that point, I had saved 2 years worth of salary up to that point. And granted, I've been in New York for 6 years.
Can we talk about that for 1 second? How did you do that?
So,
I have a problem saving.
But and what I was gonna say is unintentionally gonna hit you. Yeah. It wasn't aimed at you, but now that you said you have a problem saving.
Please just tell me.
So my thing is, if you live and granted, let me give a caveat. If you make a certain amount in New York, you can save over time. Living in New York does not demand that much of you unless you're investing money in significantly demanding things. Yes. Like a side hustle. If you're investing in a passion, cool. Right. But if you're just living, a lot of these girls that I've worked with in the past, it's they go home and they watch Netflix and they go to brunch on Saturdays and that's it. They don't need to save for anything, so they should be saving. Right. They don't need demanding amounts of money to live. So it's if all you're doing is going home or even just going out, there's no reason why you should be spending $1,000 a month on brunch, drinks, and whatever. Maybe spend $500 on that and then save $500 because at the end of that year you'll have $6,000 in your bank.
That's true.
You know, so it's like for me, and also I have to qualify this statement because for me the reason why I was able to save that much is because I started making money doing my main job.
Okay, so you had an additional source of income.
So it got to a point to where everything I was making with my main job, blogger, influencer, whatever, all of that was going directly into savings because I had this salary.
Yeah,
that was more than enough.
Extra money. That was
it was enough money. It was everything that I needed. So I think the thing is, people get a side hustle and they start shopping, or they start balling out, or they start doing things, and
or even like when you get when you get a promotion, when you get a new job, you're like, oh, I can finally start to save. But then that's when you start you're like, well, I can actually now afford the Chanel bag that we were talking about, or like.
And that's the thing. And if you don't have a goal beyond your job, if this is what you're meant to do, then cool.
Yeah.
You're not saving for anything, so that's fine. Buy your Chanel bag.
Right.
But if you have other plans,
you have a plan, you know that
you won't even. It's like, oh, okay. Now I have
the
door is open. Exactly. The door is now open because now I have all of this income. Like in my mind, if I were to get a promotion, this means that all this money, nothing's changed. More. I'm going to be living the exact same way.
Yeah.
And all this extra money is going into a bank account.
Yeah.
So that when I am ready, when that moment hits me, I'm like, I can hit it back. And I'm like, cool, let's go. Let's do it. I'm ready. 2 weeks from now, I'm out.
Amazing.
And that's what I did.
Wait, so you had how much in savings?
I had 2 salaries worth.
2 salaries worth
As in like, I had 2 years.
You could live without making another dime for 2 years.
Yes.
That is incredible.
And it's different. And I think that's the thing. Like, I know that for me, I know that what I'm trying to do is not normal by any means.
Right.
Like, and what I mean by that is exactly. And I'm not even saying like in a lofty way, like I'm trying to reach the stars. I'm just saying like, no, I'm trying to quit my job. Yeah, to quit your job is not normal.
Right.
In America, the American standard is to work a 9 to 5, to come home, watch TV with your family, and then go and do the same thing. Yeah. So for me, if I'm trying to be the exception, I have to do exceptional things. I have to do things that are not normal.
Wait, can you say that one more time?
If I'm trying to be exceptional, I have to be the exception. I can't do what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
So I can't make more money but spend more money. I have to live the same way that I've been living, so that eventually I'm at a point to where, oh yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna. Here's my 2 weeks notice. I'm good to go.
I'm out.
Yeah, I love you and I respect you,
I'm not worried about
but
what's next because I'm prepared.
Exactly, and that's the thing. And it's like, a lot of people are like, oh my God, you did this brave step. But I was really a coward in doing it. Because I made and what I mean by that is
because I was like, I don't know if you were a coward.
When you think about Mike O, because Mike O also used to work at Macy's.
Yes. And we just heard from Mike O last week.
Exactly. So which is why I would reference him, because Mike O and I have been friends since we went to school in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I remember when he told me, yeah, I'm quitting my job because I'm an actor.
The one thing I said to Mike, I was like, you did it so early. I felt like we were New York babies when he quit.
Absolutely. He was my first friend to quit.
Yeah. We were all like, we were working our corporate jobs, we were brunching, we were having this great time, and Michael was like, I'm quitting my job. And I don't think anyone was there yet. No, everyone knew that they had ambitions beyond what they were doing, but no one was there where like, I'm quitting my job. And that's when I was like, oh, he's serious. He's disciplined.
And that's the only reason why I say I'm a coward. I should say I'm a coward compared to Mike. Because Mike is like, oh no, okay, I'm out.
Yeah.
For me, I said, I'm more of a planner. I'm like, I know I'm going to be out.
Yeah.
But I'm going to make sure that when I'm out, I don't have anything to worry about.
Yeah.
And not to say that Mike didn't have his own setup, but I just know for me, I had to know what my setup was going to be, and I think that's it. A lot of people have been asking me lately, like, we've just been talking about like certain things in this space and like my journey, and I've always said like, you'll know when you're ready, and don't do it before that, don't do it after that. When you're ready, do it right then and there. And for me, it was
you will know that moment too.
You will, yeah.
Because I think I had thought about quitting for I think like a year. But the moment that I knew, it was so clear to me. There was no doubt. I just knew the exact moment. The timing made sense.
Yeah.
And I think that one thing that almost confirmed it, the day that I resigned was a Monday. My VP ended up getting fired on a Thursday. I was like, oh, this department is about to go to shambles.
And that's another thing. Every time I've quit, these companies have been destroyed.
You know what I mean? Where the girl's like looking at the house on fire and she's like,
exactly.
That was
because you got out.
I was like, good luck.
Right, and but the thing is, you're safe. You're outside, like, because you did what you had to do.
I did what I had to do, and it reconfirmed the timing was right. That was the moment that it was supposed to happen. Because anything else, because I had been talking to my boss about a promotion, all this stuff, and she's like, yes, yes, yes. I resigned. She got fired. I was like, oh, first of all, the promotion was never going to happen. So I did what I had to do.
But you kind of got your own promotion.
I got my own promotion. I got promoted in life.
Yeah.
Which is more than
and the thing
any
is,
corporate
like,
company can offer me.
Similar to that, I remember it was like one of my first days like shooting after I left my job. And me and one of my best friends, who had very much helped me get to the point to where I was at, because he also does the same thing.
Yeah.
I looked at him and I was just like, wow, this is my life now. Like, it's Wednesday at 3 p.m. and I'm in Tribeca shooting, taking pictures of myself. This is like my life now.
That's
this is what I get to do.
That you dream about.
But literally that you dream about and that you wait for and that you daydream about and that you think all this time. And it's like, no, granted, I still stand by the fact that you have to do it when it's right.
Yeah, no,
but
it's true.
When you eventually do it, it's like, yo, I've literally changed my life. I've rewritten.
No, you've created
narrative.
your life.
Exactly, and it's like there's a line in Rocket Man, that movie that came out last year about Elton John.
I love that movie.
He says something about like you have to kill who you were to become who you want to be, and to not be so lofty or like heavy, but that's real. Like you have to kill your corporate self to be your creative self, to be your fuller.
Those are two different people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And which one do you like more? I feel like most people, if they had the chance, would pick
their creative self.
Yeah.
Well, you're living a life that you want. You go to your corporate job because you have to have a paycheck, because you have to pay rent, because you can't be homeless. Like, there's a reason you're doing that. But everything that you're doing outside of that is because it's what makes you happy.
Mm-hmm. But I feel like that's it. Like you have such a. So for me, in line with the influence stuff, I also act now. I've been getting back into acting. I used to act when I was younger. I've been getting back into it for the past 2 years.
Exciting. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that, yes. Another cocktail.
Yes.
Yes, like one thing that I've really noticed with acting is that between me being on this journey of self-discovery as far as like being independent now and also with acting, like what I've been learning from my studio, there's a lot of self-awareness on both parts, because obviously you're in a new space in life, but you're like with acting, the things that we talk about in the studio are just so opening and it makes you so vulnerable, and really it requires you to lean into experiences. Right. So I've just become similar to what you're saying. I've become so self-aware of when I'm okay, when I'm not okay, and not. I feel like a lot of people, we push those feelings away when it's negative. Yeah. But it's like, no, you have to lean into that and grow from it. You absolutely do. You know what I do now? Because I off camera we were talking about like how I used to stress and I used to whatever. So now whenever I feel myself getting stressed or getting anxious or whatever, instead of embracing those feelings, I'm like, okay, why do I feel like this? What is causing this? What can and I start to I talk to myself. I talk myself through all that. I talk to myself all day, every day. All day. All day, every day. But it's real, and the thing is, because you spend more time with yourself than anyone else. Exactly. You care about, no one else thinks about you, no one else thinks about you more than you. Yeah. So it's like, it makes every bit of sense that you would talk to yourself. Yeah. You're hanging out with yourself. How am I doing? I'm okay. Day. I'm okay. Yeah, like, it makes sense, because it's like, you're the most important to you, and you have to be. Like, wait, with acting, was that something that you always knew that you wanted to do? Was that like a discovery, like, oh, I'm good at this, I want to try it? When did that come into the picture? So when I was younger, when I was in middle school and high school, especially high school, acting was everything. I got into it in middle school, but I really started doing theater. I was in all but 2 productions throughout my high school career, I think. Oh wow! Okay. So when I graduated, I was in more productions than anyone else that I graduated with at that time, and it was everything. Like when I went to college, I was like, "This is what I'm gonna do." Yeah. But I got to school and I just found other interests like that I wanted to allow myself to explore if there was value there. Okay. And I never stopped wanting to act, but I just found other things that I, 1, had potential in, and 2, enjoyed beyond just potential, just like had a good time doing. So I kind of just allowed myself to go in different directions, and eventually and again, going back to like God's divine intervention, I always say that God knew exactly what he was doing, because now I'm able to work for myself, pay all my bills without stressing, and I manage my own schedule. So if there's an audition at 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. or 3 p.m., whatever, I can make that. So he got me to a place to where now where I'm at, I'm able to support myself. I don't have to stress. I don't have to stay up at night trying to figure out, okay, how am I paying my bills?
Right.
And the jobs don't dictate my rent.
Yes. Yeah.
Like my rent and my success are separate because of how I've set this up. So it's like I'm in a place where I can crush this shit. Like we have to be in a forward-thinking perspective.
Yes.
Because it's not just about, and I think that's what trips a lot of people up. In good and bad ways sometimes. Like sometimes you can be like, I'm living in the now, I want to be happy now.
Right.
And maybe that's why you leave your job. But also sometimes you think, I want to be happy 5 years from now, so let me work hard now. It's just about your perspective, and it's different for everyone.
It is different. I think the way that you view it can be so different, but I think happiness that's a long-term game.
Hopefully, for most people, yeah.
If you do it right, it's a long-term game. So it's important to think about what can I do now that's going to make sure that I'm still happy in 5 years.
And still happy.
Still happy.
Meaning happy now and happy then.
Exactly.
There are simple things that we can do to make these goals a lot more realistic. And people just don't want to do any of the work. It's like, I just want to get my shot. And that's when I'll leave when like someone gives me a contract. No.
Right.
No, go get your contract. Go equip yourself to get that contract.
Right.
By being financially independent, professionally ready, and available.
You're working with a lot of brands now, and so tell me how those partnerships came to fruition. What are you doing with brands? I know you're traveling a lot. You're going on a lot of trips. Tell me about that.
I guess as of maybe the beginning of 2018, maybe the end of 2017, my partnerships really stepped up. So that, and again, that kind of goes into why I was able to quit my job is because the jobs just came. Like, and one thing, I'll speak candidly about it. Like, I'm Black. People will say I'm attractive. I don't like saying that myself, but like people say I'm attractive.
Yeah, you're attractive.
I'm cool. Thank you. I'm Black. I'm attractive because of my style. I'm cool. I fit a lot of different things that people would want to check off boxes for. Exactly. And some of it is very much to check a box. Oh, we got a Black kid. Right. And I'm just gonna say that industry, it's true.
It's so true.
A lot of it is
your
true.
Benefit, though.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, if it's an advantage. Yeah. My thing about this year and last year, my goal was to play to win. Yeah. So if this is an advantage that I have, whether it's because of just blanket inclusion or whether it's because they really see something in me, I don't care. Yeah. Is that my bag? Thanks. I'm gonna because it's building me so that I can help the next kid. If I'm the only Black kid in the room now, next time there's gonna be 2 Black kids because of me.
Your job then is very important.
And you gotta respect that. So for me, thankfully, because a lot of, and like right now, 2018 and 2019, and now moving into 2020, it's all about inclusion. Yes. Which is a great thing, but sometimes it can be... It can be
box checking.
Yeah. And I recognize that for whatever reason, I'm getting jobs, which I'm grateful for. So as long as you want to hire me, I'm going to do the best that I can do. I'm going to give you the best quality product that I can give you. Yeah. And I'm going to get my check. So let's keep that going for both of us because we both benefit. Right. So for me, that's really what it's about.
What are some of your favorite campaigns that you worked on and trips that you've gone on? You've gone on some amazing trips with these brands. What are some of the highlights?
So I just got back from Salt Lake City with Liberty Fairs.
Also, sorry, do you ski?
I skied for the first time and it was so much fun.
I remember thinking, I was like, wait, does Joel ski?
But listen, so I literally, when we finished, I texted my dad and I was like, Dad, I finally found a sport that I'm good at. Yes! This is it. We found it. I had so much fun and I was actually really good at it. Like, the only time, for the most part, I fell maybe like 4 or 5 times the entire day. And the only times, 3 of those 5 times, I fell because I was trying not to kill a kid.
You were getting out of the way.
Yeah, exactly. So I intentionally sabotaged myself. But I was really good at it and I had so much fun.
Oh my gosh. Skiing's kind of hard.
You have to be present. Yeah. You have to very much be in the moment.
Right. Snowboarding I found a little bit easier, but skiing, that's impressive. That was your first time skiing and
I did pretty good. I'll show you some video after. I did pretty good. I was like, I got this.
Okay, so cocktails over coffee. One thing that we truly encourage are shots. And by shot, I mean something small and strong and powerful that you want to pass on. What shot do you want to give?
What shot do I want to give? I want to give... I think as simply as I can say, just take yourself seriously. I feel like so many of the things that we've talked about in the past however many minutes has been just about taking yourself seriously. When it comes to being disciplined, when it comes to saving, when it comes to planning out your future, when it comes to this influencing game, everything we've talked about boils down to taking yourself seriously and respecting what you do.
Yeah.
If you have a dream that you want to go after, that you want to pursue, especially outside of the corporate landscape, what are you doing? What are you seriously doing that's going to get you there?
Yeah.
Are you just talking to your homegirls about it, to your homeboys about it, like, or are you actually like staying up 5 hours later?
Taking steps to make it happen.
Yeah, you know, like, are you actually like coming home, and what are you doing when you come home? I think that's a good question, and that's a question that I always used to ask.
Yeah.
Because I knew so many people, they would come to work the next day and be like, "Oh my God, I watched The Bachelor. Oh my God, I watched Real Housewives."
Right.
What the fuck is that doing for you? That's doing nothing for you.
So
what are you doing when you get home?
Yeah.
To make your dreams actually come to fruition? If you're in a place, and I always tell people, we have so much more control over our circumstances than we give ourselves credit for.
Yeah.
A lot of people, we like to feel like, oh, life, oh, woe is me, oh, c'est la vie. No. If you have a problem before you, you can either focus on the problem or you can focus on a solution.
Yes.
So what do you want to look at?
Right.
If you want to get out of corporate America, get the fuck out of corporate America.
Yes.
Figure out how.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, it's not always that simple, like saying it and doing it.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times it is.
It can be that simple.
Yeah, like,
it
just make righteous choices. Stop spending $200 a weekend on liquor.
On liquor, on brunch.
Yeah, start cooking. Stop buying Chanel bags that you don't need and that no one's impressed by because everyone...
No one knows if it's real or fake.
That part, we live in New York. Half of them aren't. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Figure out what you want to do and be serious about it. Take it seriously and stop playing. Stop playing is what I was saying. Stop playing, y'all. Stop playing.
Take yourself seriously, stop playing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's it.
What's next for you?
So, big picture for 2020.
Yes.
There's a mentorship program that I want to start.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about this for years, literally probably like at least 10 years. I've been trying to brainstorm and flesh out this mentorship program that I want to do. It's evolved, but now I know I want it to be about linking aspiring creatives with established creatives. Because I think about how...
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and I think about how instrumental that was for me. Like, I know the reason why I'm at where I'm at is because whether it was Ryan or whether it was my friends like Marquise Pfeiffer or just like people that have genuinely taught me from being around them and have exposed me to things and have just changed the way that I think and also changed the way that I see potential and opportunity. Like, so a lot of the times we don't know what we can do because we've just never been exposed to it.
Right.
And so for me, I want this program to be about showing people, oh, you want to be in music? Let me show you all the things that you can do in music.
Right.
Because a lot of people think, oh, I want to be in music, so I want to be a rapper or a singer or a producer.
Yeah.
There's so many other things that you can do in the industry. Like, me being back into acting, I've realized I can act, I can write, I can produce, I can be on set. There's so many things that you could do that fuel what you love, but also are a realistic path to getting there.
Yes.
And so that's my biggest thing, is to provide mentorship in this program and also to provide guidance. I want there to be like, I won't say religious because I know everyone doesn't subscribe to that, but I want there to be like a spiritual, like a wellness, self-care type of aspect.
I think some people really appreciate that, though.
Yeah, and I think, especially nowadays, like with all these things that we're faced with in the media, social media, whatever, like, I think it's important to take care of yourself. So I want that program to really be about building the leaders, the creative leaders of tomorrow. Yeah. So that's it. For me, acting, I'm about to dive into my first pilot season, so who knows what's going to come from that.
So exciting.
Really exciting. A little scary, but scary in the right ways.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited, and yeah, I just want to take myself seriously, kind of like what we talked about. And
and you are.
Ready to get this.
You're doing it.
Yeah, and keep everything going with Instagram and YouTube, and just like keep that stuff building.
You're doing amazing. You're doing amazing, sweetie.
Thank you. And honestly, like, and I tell you guys every time I'm around y'all, but it's people like you, Amani, Mike, like, y'all inspire me to keep doing it. And I don't find that many people that inspire me, but like what you guys have been doing, even just like with this, like what Amani's doing with CCNYC and just all of it, it's like we need people that are
great community. We have a really a great inspiring group.
Yeah, and I'm so blessed to be part of it. So yeah, I just want us all to keep
You
building.
inspire me in more ways than you know,
Thank
and
you.
I'm so glad that like our community is able to inspire each other.
Yeah, good. I feel like I'm paying my debt, like by
Absolutely
being able to inspire you because
Yes.
you inspire me. So I appreciate that.
Thank you so much, Jabel.
Oh, thank you.
This has been
Glad you're here.
amazing. Cheers.
Cheers.
Our drinks, we're done.
We're
so-
done. We got a little bit more. We'll
We're
finish that.